Hey guys, and welcome to A Road to a Swift Project Season 1, Episode 1, where I'll be creating random Swift projects until I get a request from a large company to create a project for their own, and I can develop app full time. I would first of all like to give a shout out to Blossom Build and Free Code Camp for giving me the idea for this first project, which will simply be a movie database where you can search, download, see upcoming, and see top-rated movies. This project will be using Xcode and SwiftUI and all the features of Xcode and all the features that Apple allow us to use. This will include a powerful search, a dynamic homepage where it will refresh based on the database we put in, and also allow the users to download movies based on Swift data. So now we'll start with creating the app in the first place. So we'll go to App, and then we'll click Next, and then we'll create the title of the app. So if we click Next, we'll name it Tuto Movie because we will be creating a database for movies. And then you can see as myself, I have myself as the team, and then the user interface will be SwiftUI. The user language will then be Swift, which is the only possible option. Testing we won't worry about, and storage can either be Swift data or core data, but we'll worry about that with the imports when we're in the app. So then we'll click Next, and then if you want to follow along, you can save it into whatever file you want. I'll create a new file, Tuto Movie, and then I'll press Create, and then I'll create again, and then this will then load up the content view and will load up the app and everything. So we can then begin the project. Then we'll get the default home view that we get whenever we set up the content view. But we don't want that. We want to just get straight into the app and the project. So let's remove the VStack and the padding that we typically get when we get a content view. And we'll start off by creating the tabs that we'll need to navigate this app. So first, we'll type in tab view with open brackets. Then we'll type in tab, and then within tab and the parentheses, we'll then have home, comma, system image, and then we'll have a system image of house. That itself will not work, so we'll need to create another closure for the tab, and that'll be text, and that will simply just be home. And then once we've typed in home, we should see that on the canvas, the home tab view will appear. Then we just need to do the same for the other three tabs that we want, which are download, search, and upcoming. Now, you can just simply copy and paste this, or you can follow my text along with creating these individual tabs. So now that the tabs are all set up in individual strings, we'll want to practice good code and practice dry, which stands for do not repeat yourself. This essentially means that we'll be replacing the strings you see in the tab and the text views with something more global. That way, when we change the strings for something, we only need to change it once, and when the file or the project is too big, we only need to change it in one area. That way, when the project gets really big, it makes it much more simpler to make changes without worrying about changing it in every single file. So what we'll do is we'll press Command N. We'll then create a new Swift file, not SwiftUI file. We'll press Next. We'll name it Global, and then we'll press Create. Then we'll have a new Swift file, and we'll, for the sake of practicing good code, we'll import Swift data and we'll import SwiftUI. Now, with that set, we can set up the struct for the global strings. So we'll do struct global, open curly brackets, then we'll have static let, which will allow us to share across all files, and we'll name it simply static let home string will be home. Then we'll do static let download string for the download string. Then after that, we'll then do static let upcoming string. Then after static let upcoming string, we will then do static let search string. This will then give us all the strings we need for our tab views, and we'll be able to go back to our content view and change it. But first, to make sure that when coming back to this file in the future, we can see what's what, we'll do a comment for mark, and we'll do a global strings. Then, to save time whilst we're at the global strings, we'll create the strings for the global images. So again, we'll do static let house string, because the image or the SF symbol was a house for the home tab. We'll do static let house image house. Then we'll do static let download image for the download, which is arrow down to line. And it's important to have the correct string, because otherwise when you open the app, it simply will not recognize, and you'll actually get an error in your console. So just to make sure that I'm doing the correct ones, I'll go back to content view and do to line, not to circle. So then after the download image, we'll do static let search image, and that will simply just be magnifying glass, and you can see Swift provides an autocomplete, which is really helpful. Then finally, for the upcoming, I just need to remind myself what it is, so I'll just copy and paste it just to save myself. So we'll do static let upcoming image, and then we'll copy and paste what I just copied. So we'll do upcoming image equals, and then paste in the play circle fill string. Then once that is done, we will be able to call the global struct and then the methods of the images that we just did, of the strings that we just did. So it would be global home string, and then that will be for the title of the tab view, and then we can simply just copy and paste all the rest. So home string, and then for upcoming we'll do global dot upcoming string, and then again that's the tab title, and again just copy and paste for the upcoming, and we'll do that for the rest. This will also apply for the system image, which will be global and then the name of the image. So we'll skip forward to that part now. So you'll then see, once that is all done, we'll see that the tabs still work, and as you click on each tab, the string download or home or whatever appears. Now, if we change anything in the global struct, it will change automatically in the app once it loads, obviously. But then, for example, if we have home, we can then go to global and we can put something like home display. Then once we go back into content view, we should see that when the canvas loads again eventually, we should see that the home tab and the text has home display. This is very helpful because, as I said, any changes we make in this global struct will automatically appear in home view, which when your app begins to get bigger and bigger is really helpful. It's also really helpful for when you have multiple languages and you want to support different languages and you're not just typing in or having to create some weird function to allocate different languages to different tabs and different views. And with that, I think that's a good place to stop, and I'll see you in the next episode.